Hey Hofstra fans, and welcome inside this week's edition of the WB Mason Coaches Report here on GoHofstra.com. Tom Verdi, with the pleasure of being joined by the head coach for the Hofstra women's soccer team, Simon Riddiough. Coach, thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Coach, tough pair of games this past weekend. Start off against the 23rd ranked team in the nation. Last week you said, your team kind of elevates their game against the good teams. You only fall 1-0 in that game. Tell us about the game.
Again, we've started playing well these past couple of weeks. The girls have got themselves together. We're focused. It's almost like a new season this last weekend. And playing a very, very good, aggressive, attacking-minded William and Mary. I thought we did a very good job as a team to stick to the game plan and give ourselves a chance to nip a goal late. Unfortunately, William and Mary's got some special players and they found a way to get it done. So you've got to tip your hat off to that kind of team. But it was a good step in the right direction for us.
Now, was that a game where maybe during the middle of it you thought there was a real chance your team could steal one?
Yeah, I thought the first part of the second half there was a slight wind in our advantage. For that 20-25 minutes, I thought we were knocking on the door. We got in behind them a couple of times, but we really didn't put much on our final shot or final cross. But you could feel the energy, you could feel the belief, and we thought we had a very good chance to get this game out of the way. Unfortunately, good teams capitalise on mistakes, and William and Mary capitalised on one of our mistakes, and Colin Bristol scored a great goal.
Even though it's a loss, what could your team take away from really hanging tight with a team that's really been on a roll this season?
Well, again, if you look at all our schedule this year, the Texas Techs, the Harvards who are unbeaten in the Ivy League, Columbia who's been unbeaten in the Ivy League until last weekend, James Madison, we lose 4-3 in overtime. We've always played well against tougher competition or rivals, as I would say. And I think the team can take away that we've just competed with number 23 in the nation. We outshot them, we out-corner kicked them. Territorial advantage probably was in our favour. We are a good team, and I think that's what we can take from it. We are a good team, but now we've got to make sure the results occur, not just the performances.
As we move on to Sunday, matchup against Old Dominion, who is in the top 4 heading into this week. Senior day for your seniors. What kind of emotions does that aspect of it bring into this game?
It's a tough one. You don't know how senior day will turn out. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of emotion going on, and that can be good and it can be bad. It's good in the fact that you know that everybody's energy is high, they're excited, they don't want to let anybody down, especially the seniors, the last day. But it's bad as well because sometimes you get overexcited. There's a over-anxiety or an over-arousal which occurs in sports. And if you're not level-headed enough, you can let that get you carried away and burn excess energy when there's no need. So it's a tough one to balance, but I thought the girls did a great job, mature-wise, to get the game which we needed to.
You fell behind 1-0 in that game, even though you really were the better team in the first half. How important was it to get a quick second half goal so that maybe your team wouldn't get too frustrated still looking for that equalizer?
Yeah, in many respects it's the story of our season. We played pretty well that first half, and I thought at times we should have been 1-0 up, 2-0 up. But fair play to Old Dominion, they worked hard. They challenged us in a certain spot and got a nice cross off and a great one-time finish. Unfortunately, that happens in soccer. So getting a goal against us after persevering that well against the wind as well, I thought we were a bit unjustly treated. Going into half-time, it's all about keeping it positive and moving forward, and getting that early goal makes a huge difference in settling the nerves and making us less panicky.
You had a freshman get the first goal for your team, a pair of seniors connect on the second one. You had a couple of other great games from seniors, Brooke Benenagel at the back, Erin Breen, a nice performance off the bench, Courtney Breen with a typical Courtney Breen performance. How did you rate the play of the seniors in their final home game?
It was awesome. Courtney Breen, I think she's been the best player in the conference. and I don't want to disrespect William and Mary's special players, because they've got some really special players, and so has everybody else. Every team's got one or two special players on the team. But Courtney Breen to me stands out. Friday night we put a job on to stop one of their best players, and she did. Sunday it was to dominate midfield and allow Brittany Buss some freedom, and she did. So, you know, Courtney Breen's been awesome. Brittany Buss has finally turned the corner. She's been plagued with injuries all year. Last week was a final clearance to go 100%. She's practicing now. So she's turned the corner. Laura Green is starting to find her legs again after going through a little bit of a lull. And you know, to be fair, Brooke Bendenagel, she's had her own injury problems with a broken foot early on in the season, and she's come back to full fight. And I'd be wrong not to mention Erin Breen. She's been a loyal servant to the programme for 4 years without getting much rewards, to be fair to the kid. But she's plugged away. She's always been positive. She's always there for team. She's a consummate team player. And she played a lot of minutes on Sunday and gave us a fantastic performance. And there was a point in that game with, I think, 8 minutes to go, where she's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And you could hear the crowd, you could hear our bench, and everybody was willing the ball to go in the net, because they knew how special it would have been, and they know how special Erin is to the programme. So the fact that it just went wide put a dampener to the celebrations, but she was awesome, and I couldn't ask for much better.
Now it sounds like, you know, your team's getting healthy now. Your seniors obviously played a big game there, getting to their peak. Some of your freshmen, Sam Scolucci with the goal, obviously. Caitlin Dudley's looked very comfortable at left back when you played her there. Is there a feeling that, you know, finally now you're starting to gel and get ready, as you have to take on a couple of tough road tests to finish up the season?
Yeah, it's a strange one, because we've always thought we're a good team, and throughout the season we've played some good games, and we've been, you know, probably in a position to win most games, due to some lack of focus, mental errors. Particularly, I wouldn't want to blame the younger players, but it tends to happen with freshmen and sophomores. We've given up some soft goals, and when you give up soft goals in this conference, you're going to lose a lot of games, and that's what's happened. I think the last couple of weekends we've turned it around, and the goals we've given up have been earned by the other team. And I think we know that if we play well, and with some special players we have, if they play well, we're going to be very tough to beat.
Now it's getting down to that time of the season where wins are going to be very key. What's the key now to go on the road now and get a couple of wins for this coming weekend?
Well, Georgia State's a typically hard place to play. We've never been super successful there. They're going to be well organised, they're going to be well coached, they're going to be aggressive. They've got some special players. Joel Evans was the Rookie of the Year last year. She's got lightning speed, which we have to be aware of. Sarah Bennett, the target forward, she's a special player. And they've just got key figures all over the field who can make things happen. The goalkeeper was stood on her head against us last year. There's been a little bit of a rivalry recently, with us beating them in overtime last year to maintain our winning streak, and then beating them in the CAA semi-final. So Georgia State give us a unique battle, and they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot just like us. And it's going to be a real typical CAA Friday night game. And then we're off to Wilmington. And Paul Carney, the coach there, I've got the greatest respect for him. I think he's a hell of a coach. He's having a tough year at the moment. But I know they will be prepared to battle. And I know it's not going to be a gimme game. They're going to come out fighting, and they've still got some good players. One local kid who we tried to recruit. Wilmington's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. They always give us a game. I think last time we beat them 2-1 down there. We were down 1-0 at half time, and I think Sam Mataric scored a 40-yarder or something, which was quite serendipitous or whatever. But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough weekend. But by all accounts, it's not something we can't accomplish. But it's not going to be easy. But that's every weekend in the CAA.
And And what's it going to be like as a coach, maybe hoping for some good results elsewhere and hoping that some other teams can maybe help out your team when they're trying to make a climb?
Well, there's a reason I've got no hair, Tom. All these mathematical configurations, I'm not very good at it, to be honest. So all I'm going to focus on is hopefully getting the results we need to get. And if we do that, I'm sure some results will go our way, I'm sure some results won't. But if we win the next 3, and it's a big if, but if we do, we'll be in the playoffs. And I think that's mathematically correct, but I could be wrong there too. But we should be alright.
Alright, Simon Riddiough, head coach of the Hofstra women's soccer team. Thanks for joining us, and that'll do it for this week's edition of the W. Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.